Question 2. How can established companies foster a culture of innovation and avoid being disrupted by new entrants? Well, successful innovation requires a deliberate paradox management approach, balancing exploration and preservation. Organizations must create dedicated innovation spaces that allow teams to experiment without traditional constraints, but while maintaining core business operations, effectively building what's called organisational ambidexterity. And this keeps them agile and responsive. Now, this is what we are calling dynamic polar positioning. And we want to be able to help leaders and teams and organisations measure and map where they've been, where they are now, and where they need to get to. We can measure this with our personal organisational innovative change leader inventory. Question 3. What are the key indicators that a company's culture needs to change? Warning signs include risk aversion, decision-making, siloed communication, and persistent, we've always done it this way attitudes, and declining ability to attract top talent. When employee engagement drops and external markets signals are consistently misinterpreted, it signals a critical need for cultural transformation. There are so many books and experts espousing how to be innovative, but they often use survivorship bias to point out the top 10 best steps to be innovative. But what's missing is the big picture research, not the outliers. So it's worth looking at what allows sustainable innovation to grow and what causes it to decline. Culture, which is being the values and glue that provides direction to a group, is the invisible architecture that shapes an organization's collective potential for innovation, learning, and meaningful transformation. You see, creative thinking and innovation don't happen in a vacuum, and they don't always happen by chance. They can be killed or they can flourish depending on the culture that is created within the organization. Now, in our books, we talk about culture as a critical enabler for organizational adaptability, creativity, and strategic alignment. If innovation was reduced to a reality TV show, it could be called The Innovation Race, with a subtitle of who wins, who loses, and who gets eliminated. But on the more serious side, books like by Jared Diamond called Guns, Gems and Steel, along with many other anthropological books, point to how the mighty fall. It's mainly because of their inability to innovate out of an issue. And this doesn't matter whether it's a large country, a company, or a small startup. Culture matters. We can learn a great deal from looking at the research over a large part of history and not just media-grabbing personalities to see how we can apply principles of culture and innovation leadership to help leaders, teams, and organizations. Question 4. What strategies can companies use to empower employees and promote autonomy in their roles? Well, we hear with our clients so many stories of innovation and creative thinking whereby employees come up with these great ideas only to find them killed by higher powers or by the leadership team above them or the culture. It can be the culture that blocks creativity, whether it's too much pressure, the way KPIs are measured, a controlling environment, apathy, pessimism, and the fear of failure. Empowerment isn't just delegation, it's creating clear strategic boundaries with meaningful creative freedom. In our book, Who Killed Creativity and How to Get It Back, we've identified 7 killers of creative thinking and countered that with 7 creative rescue strategies that lead into design thinking. Because you see, design thinking is a tool, and you can have all the best tools in the world. But if you don't have the mindset and the culture and the ability, what we're calling CQ, a creative quotient, the design thinking tools won't work very well. Tools are only as good as the people that use them. There are 7 attributes of creative thinking that need to be looked at as measured by the Torrance test of creative thinking, the gold standard of CQ testing. And creative thinking won't happen without CQ, both within the individual and supported by the company culture. Question 5. How can leaders foster an inclusive and diverse culture that values employees' unique perspectives and backgrounds? Well, inclusive innovation requires intentional design of the collaborative environment where diverse perspectives are not just welcomed, but systematically integrated into decision-making process. This means developing cultural intelligence, creating cross-functional teams, and implementing bias-aware talent development strategies. Diversity should not be seen as a PR washing exercise. Diversity is the very core that allows creative thinking and innovation to thrive. While the research shows that non-diverse teams, heterogeneous teams, homogeneous teams will arrive at solutions faster, the solutions will always be just mediocre. However, a diverse team may take more time, may have more sparks, may need to be facilitated better, but it will have the greatest chance to come up with the best solutions. And this requires intentional leadership practices that actively dismantle unconscious bias, promote equitable opportunities, and view diversity as a core innovation driver. Question 6. What strategies can brands use to stay relevant in rapidly changing markets? Well, relevance demands continuous learning architectures within organizations. What worked yesterday may not necessarily work today and probably won't work tomorrow. So innovation is not about a one-off, having some expert consultant come in and help you innovate or give you an innovative idea. It is a process that needs to be built in by the leaders into an organization. To develop adaptive strategies that emphasize scenario planning, maintain porous organizational boundaries that allow for external insights, and cultivating a learning market that views market disruption as an opportunity for strategic reimagination. But this exploration mode needs to be tempered with the preservation to ensure the brands remain consistent with the values. You see, a company needs this ambiguity, this ambidexterity, and the ambiguousness of exploration, looking for those breakthrough new ideas, but at the same time, it needs preservation, incremental changes. Go too far to either end, and you'll skid off the road. And we want to help you measure that and look for your biases on that topic.